Yuan Fong hurriedly reported that the car picking up the partner broke down on the way, and there was only half an hour left before the partner's plane landed. Looking at the countdown clock, she decided to pick him up herself. At this time, our male lead, Jing Ji, was asking his secretary about the strategic product under Yuanda. But the secretary wasn't sure about the numbers, which made Jing Ji unhappy. He told the secretary to buy a plane ticket back because she wasn't fit to work for him. Jing Ji can be said to be a legend in the business world. In just a few short years, he was able to turn the Baiqi Group into one of the world's top 500 corporations. Xing Chen saw a figure flash by and immediately recognized that it was Jing Ji. At this time, Huang Tao, the director's office manager of Baiqi, ran over in a panic with his clothes disheveled because of the traffic jam, so he had to run. When he asked about the person from Yuanda, she went over to help Huang Tao straighten his clothes and invited him to the welcome party. Huang Tao reached out to take the luggage, but Jing Ji handed it to Xing Chen instead. In the car, seeing that he didn't look well, she offered him some candy, saying that a friend of hers also often has low blood sugar when getting off the plane. That night, at the party, Jing Ji refused, saying he couldn't drink alcohol, which made the atmosphere not very happy. At this time, she went over again and offered a box of medicine, saying that the doctor had told him he couldn't drink alcohol because he was sick. That night, Jing Ji wanted her to be his secretary, but Xing Chen refused. Although he offered a salary 4 times higher, along with a house and a car, she still didn't agree because she had been with Yuanda for so many years. Jing Ji gave her 24 hours to think about it, but Xing Chen didn't think about it and immediately replied that she wouldn't change her mind. Suddenly remembering that he had forgotten his bag, she hurried after him and accidentally fell on him. Smelling the familiar verbena scent, he asked if they had ever met before, but she was sure that today was the first time. That night, he dreamed again of the girl sitting next to the piano, a dream he hadn't had in 4 years. He immediately called Ziyu to tell him that it might be a sign that he was about to recover his memory. Ziyu asked Jing Ji who he had met today. Maybe that person had stimulated his nerves. Jing Ji immediately thought of Xing Chen, who was also thinking at this time why that person was him. The next day, during the cooperation meeting, Jing Ji again made an offer to buy Yuanda, seeing that the price offered was so attractive and that they could keep the Yuanda name to operate. Yuan Fong immediately agreed. When the transaction was successful, he again specifically asked Xing Chen to see him off. He wanted to know why she knew so much about him and why she changed her shampoo scent after yesterday. It definitely wasn't a coincidence. Before leaving, he didn't forget to tell her to report to his secretarial pool tomorrow. The next day, everyone in the company was wondering who the new senior secretary of the boss was when Xing Chen walked in. AI Lu was jealous and deliberately told Xing Chen to be late for work. Even though she knew, she still deliberately went late, which made him very angry, thinking that she was trying to provoke him. Seeing that she brought coffee and divided the calories exactly as he requested, he was very satisfied and understood the reason she was late this afternoon. If she was so good, he asked her to help him clean his house. Xing Chen reluctantly started working, so tired that she fell asleep. When she woke up, it was already dark. At this time, Jing Ji came back and was very satisfied to see the house clean up perfectly. So he handed over his food and living arrangements to her to handle, without giving her time to refuse, and turned off the phone. The next morning, seeing the breakfast and clothes prepared carefully, he was very satisfied. At the company, Huang Tao wanted Xing Chen to bring the documents to Tung Yun Company, and he would handle things for the boss. Just after returning, she heard that movie star Zhang Nan had come here today. Huang Tao also heard that the boss and her were about to get married. Xing Chen stormed over, wanting to ask why he didn't respond to her resignation request. Jing Ji thought she was playing hard to get, which made Xing Chen angry and scolded him for a while. Not only did he suffer from delusions, but he also demanded that others be this or that, which is a compulsion. Before he could get angry, she left. Although his habit was to sleep before 11 o'clock, Jing Ji wasn't in the mood to sleep tonight. He even called Ziyu in the middle of the night, asking if he'd been too rigid and demanding with everyone. Ziyu was confused and told him to go to the hospital for a brain checkup tomorrow. The next day, waiting and waiting, he still didn't see her come, so he called and found out that today was the weekend. Moreover, she would also submit her resignation at the beginning of the week, not wanting him to infringe on her private time. Seeing this, Jing Ji wasn't interested in going to work anymore, telling Huang Tao to bring the documents to him. Tong Xin took on the task of bringing the documents to the boss and accidentally ran into Ziyu, feeling that such a handsome and gentle doctor didn't have any fans. From now on, she would be his loyal fan. In another development, Xing Chen was going to see a house, but her budget was limited. At this time, Yuan Fong used his handsomeness to get internal news that Baiqi would provide internal housing for employees next month. The next morning, seeing her come to his house to continue working, Jing Ji wasn't too surprised. At this time, she stood there and wouldn't leave, and he knew that she wanted to remind him that his button was buttoned wrong. To get revenge on Xing Chun for daring to stage a strike yesterday, he tormented her in every way. When they arrived at the appointment with the partner, he suddenly thought that he had forgotten the draft at the company, telling her to go back to get it. Then he thought that he had saved the draft on his phone. At lunchtime, he wanted 3 dishes from 3 different places, but when she bought them back, he said that he was busy with a meeting and wouldn't eat anymore. Not stopping there, he asked her to buy 2 tickets for a music show that had been sold out. Xing Chun ran around looking for help and finally grabbed 2 tickets, but he only took one, saying that he would go alone. During the survey, he wanted to know the monthly traffic of customers, making everyone rush to search. She didn't see that as her concern. These days, e-commerce is booming, so customers prefer to buy online. That's why she felt it was necessary to increase customer trust. He thought she answered very well and gave the modification plan back to the director's department. Xing Chun was annoyed and deliberately broke the jade string on her purse, causing Jingji to freeze. He hurriedly picked it up and forced her and everyone else to submit the modification plan tonight. Because she caused everyone to work overtime with her, she invited everyone out to eat after work. At this time, Jingji called, but the documents were on her computer. He asked about the computer password because he needed it urgently, and when he heard the password was 0521, he was stunned. At this time, everyone was eating and talking badly about the boss when he suddenly walked in. Seeing that everyone was about to add cilantro, she suddenly stopped them, afraid that someone wouldn't like it, and that person was none other than him. Moreover, he has a habit of adding things in at the right time. She suggested letting him add things at his right time, and everyone else could just eat. At this time, Jingji wanted her to explain the computer password. She said it was the anniversary of her relationship with her boyfriend. After that, Yuan Fong came to pick up Xing Chun and put his arm around her shoulder. Jingji thought the relationship between the former boss and their employees was a bit unusual, but Yuan Fong felt like he didn't need to explain that personal matter. The next day was the company's outing, but he changed it to be just for the director's office, so Yuan Fong wouldn't be there. On the bus, everyone was playing games. She didn't want to participate, but he tempted her to be on his team, and he would give her 2 days of paid leave. Seeing that she even knew about his habit of not liking to be tickled when he was in a bad mood, everyone was suspicious. He didn't understand why she knew so much about him, and he also felt very familiar with her. When they arrived, they saw that Yuan Fong was also there, which made him unhappy. The two looked at each other with murderous intent. While playing games, the 2 of them angrily started wrestling. At this time, Xing Chun was bathing in a hot spring, and Jingji suddenly approached. Seeing her staring at the necklace on his neck, he was sure she knew it, but Xing Chun firmly insisted that he wasn't in her memory. Just then, Yuan Fong and Zhen Nan came over, and Yuan Fong quickly took her away. At this time, Yuan Fong realized that Jingji was her first love that she would never forget. On the other side, Jingji suddenly felt that Zhen Nan was a bit like Xing Chun. Moreover, there was no engagement between the 2 of them like Huang Tao had heard. He used to be nice to her because he found some familiarity, but now he realized that she wasn't the owner of the ring, and he had a feeling that he was about to find that person. The next morning, Jingji couldn't find Xing Chun anywhere, so he offered a reward for anyone who found her. When he found out that she was with Yuan Fong, he angrily ordered everyone to pack up and immediately return to the company. He found out that she was wearing the same ring as him, confirming that the 2 had been together. She lied, saying that she and him were unrelated and that she already had a boyfriend. When he wanted to know where that person was, Yuan Fong came and said that he was her boyfriend, then took her away. Jingji went back and started boxing like crazy, which Ziyu didn't understand, saying he was clearly too excited. He asked Ziyu if he were a girl looking at the conditions, where would he rank? Ziyu said in disgust that he wasn't interested in men, then left. That night, Yuan Fong made an appointment with Jingji, wanting to use 20% of his shares to exchange for Xing Chen's freedom. But Jingji didn't care and offered 200 million yuan. The next day, Jingji saw her at Yuan Fong's again. So he went to drag her back because at the company, she was his secretary. Xing Chun explained that she was just there to discuss work, and it wasn't a personal matter. Moreover, she suggested inviting Zhen Nan to be the brand ambassador for his company, and Jingji handed it all over to her to handle. Yuan Fong felt that one was stubborn and the other was foolish, truly a good match. While discussing things with Zhen Nan, she learned that Jingji was coming soon, so she left. Just as she stood up, she bumped into him, but she didn't want to bother the 2 of them and left first. After the press conference ended, Jingji went to find Xing Chun, wanting to know why she was always avoiding him. She felt that if he continued like this, she could only think about leaving the company. The next day, Jingji counted down every hour and minute waiting for her to come, but the person who came was Tong Xin, saying that she had a cold and was on leave. At this time, Xing Chun had just finished showering when the express delivery person came looking for her. She poked her head out to look and found that the person who came was Jingji. She hurriedly cleaned up her room and invited him in. This time, Jingji came to make peace with her, promising that he wouldn't say and act like that again from now on. The two decided that they would cooperate happily in the future, but at this time, he discovered the pile of things she had thrown haphazardly and ordered her to clean them up. Suddenly, she thought that she was sick and couldn't do it according to his standards, so Jingji had to clean it up himself. When he was about to complain, he saw that she had fallen asleep again, so he picked her up and took her to the bedroom, then continued to clean up. When Xingchen woke up, the house was spotless. But after so many minutes of cleaning, she didn't know where anything was, and she couldn't even find her hair tie. She also didn't want him to come to her house next time, afraid that her boyfriend would notice. But he didn't believe her words at all, because after cleaning up, he knew that there were no traces of another man there. On the day of filming the advertisement, Xingchen used the company's account to broadcast live, accidentally filming Jingji. Because of this, that video had the most searches of the day. Afraid that he would be unhappy, she voluntarily confessed that she had accidentally filmed him. He watched for a while, then asked her what everyone called him, and Xingchen blurted out husband. Jingji accidentally learned that his plan to make his personal matters public was rejected by Xingchen because she thought he wouldn't like that. But he was very much in favor of that plan, and he wanted her to be the one responsible for filming and taking pictures for him because he didn't like outsiders coming to his house. After that, he wanted to know again what people on the internet called him. She shyly left, making him laugh at how forgetful she was. The next morning, he woke up early to choose a really handsome outfit. When she came, he put on his handsome, romantic appearance, making Xingchen stunned. The two began with the work of photographer and model. From reading books, exercising, or going to sleep, everything was filmed in detail. While swimming, her phone accidentally fell into the water. Jingji helped her pick it up, but deliberately let her fall into the water with him. Seeing that Xingchen's breathing was a little disordered, he moved closer to take a look, which made her panic even more, and she hurriedly left. That night, she kept thinking about the pool incident and blamed herself, thinking that she must have water on the brain. On Jingji's side, that night, he dreamed again that he and some girl were having fun in the pool. The next day, he had a live stream with fans. All the questions and answers were prepared in advance, but he was awkward and kept needing her to remind him. The staff felt that his life was really dull, just revolving around work. When asked about his ideal type, he very skillfully looked at her and answered. He told her to give a gift to those who asked questions earlier, especially the one who asked about his ideal type. The next day, all the female employees in the company styled themselves to look like the ideal girlfriend he described. Huang Tao also reported that everyone thought that the person he was talking about was Xingchen, but it seemed like she had a good relationship with Yuan Fang. While working, he found out that she was taking pictures of him secretly, so he went over. While she was looking for documents, he took the chair and sat down. When he saw that she was about to sit down, he rushed over, causing her to fall into his arms. He asked about her secretly taking pictures of him and learned that she was taking them to send to fans. He thought she was very professional, but he didn't expect her to be like the fans, discussing his life. He angrily told her to delete all the clips and stop all promotional photography. That night, Jingji went to ZU again, wanted to learn how to win Xingchen over. However, he then thought that his friend had left the field of psychology because he didn't understand women's feelings. The next morning, as soon as Xingchen arrived, there was a huge gift box placed at her spot. Everyone thought that it was from her boyfriend, but she didn't have a boyfriend. When they opened it, it was full of limited edition items, which made everyone very envious. At this time, Yuan Fang stepped forward and asked if she liked it, then told her to follow him. But in the end, Yuan Fang didn't give her that gift. He just saw that she was embarrassed, so he came to her rescue. At this time, the two figured out who gave it, and Yuan Fang told her to just give it to him to handle. He took the bouquet of flowers to Jingji and said that he bought these things for his girlfriend himself and didn't need him a bother. But Jingji knew that the two didn't have that kind of relationship, and that Yuan Fang had dated no less than a dozen people in the past 5 years. Losing this battle, Jingji and Ziyu sat down and pondered how he could woo Xingchen. Ziyu suddenly thought of exploring her hobbies through her personal page. He then asked Huang Tao, only to find out that she had blocked him. When she came, he questioned the reason, but she felt that he was her superior, and just thinking about him made her feel a lack of freedom. He suddenly asked why she didn't block Yuan Fang, who was also a superior. Then, he pretended to be sad, feeling that he didn't have the right to demand that. Xingchen felt that she was at fault and unblocked him, while Jingji was secretly happy. When she just left the room, he opened his phone to look, and Xingchen saw everything outside. The next day, Huang Tao came and asked her to get him some things from Jingji's place later, because he had to pick up his child early today, so he couldn't go. That night, she went to the appointment but didn't see anyone. At this time, the glittering lights formed a heart, which she really liked. Jingji came, and she suspected that he and Huang Tao had deliberately tricked her into coming here. He lied, saying that the company had just bought an automatic machine that was in the testing process. Afterwards, the two went to a restaurant for dinner. Seeing that there wasn't a single person there, she was surprised to learn that he had booked the whole place. Seeing that the items on the menu were cheesy, she wondered why it didn't look like this when she saw it online. But this was the menu he had specially ordered for the two of them. At this time, he attentively came over and served the food, making her feel a little unusual. Then, he suddenly asked if someone confessed their feelings to her in this setting. Would she agree? Xing-chan felt that there would probably be people who liked it, but she didn't want other people to be around their relationship. It would be very awkward. It felt like the kind of animal surrounded by people. He suddenly felt guilty and hurriedly ran out to stop the waiter from bringing the cake, then chased the musician away. She told him that she used to be a waiter because her parents said that if she wanted to stay in the city, she had to buy a house. Otherwise, they would make her go back to her hometown to work. Suddenly, he stepped closer and wiped her mouth, then asked if she wanted to be by his side, meaning continuing to work for him. On this issue, she had said that she would only work for 1 more month after submitting her resignation, then she wanted to go back. However, he didn't agree because her favorite dish hadn't been brought up yet. When he took her back, he offered her a bracelet, wanting her to be his girlfriend. Even if she wanted to quit soon, it wouldn't affect his pursuit of her. But Xing-chan resolutely refused, because the two of them hadn't known each other for long. It might just be a temporary crush on his side. Jingji wanted to know what he had to do for her to agree, and Xing-chan said that he had to pick a star for her. The next morning, Huang Tao asked her about the date last night, thinking that Jingji did that to keep her at the company. Secretary Sun suddenly came over and gave her a bottle of water, and this scene was seen by him. Suddenly, Secretary Sun's proposal, which wasn't supposed to be used until next month, was forced by him to be completed urgently in 1 day, causing everyone to be dead on their feet. Switching the scene, the two of them went to the real estate agency together and accidentally learned that she had asked about the housing provided to employees. He understood that the reason she suddenly wanted to stay was for the housing. But at this time, she had thought differently, that there was no such thing as a free lunch, and if there was, it would be a trap. Therefore, she still decided to resign. As usual, he thought she would come, but the person who came was Tong Xin. Xing-chun had already gone out. At this time, Xing-chun was putting down a deposit for a house, and when she returned, she happily invited everyone to go to karaoke tonight. Just then, Jingji stormed in and questioned where she had gone this afternoon. When he heard Huang Tao say that she was inviting everyone to go to karaoke tonight, he also wanted to join in. While Jingji was showing off his universally despised singing voice, she got a phone call. Seeing her go outside, he followed, and everyone felt lucky. No matter how many times they had to work overtime next time, they didn't want to hear him sing again. At this time, her mother was crying, saying that her father might have to go to jail. Seeing her go out sadly, Jingji asked about it, but she didn't say anything. He mentioned buying a house again, saying that if she needed anything, she could tell him, but she had changed her mind and wasn't buying it anymore. That night, she called the seller, saying that she had something to do and wouldn't buy it anymore. The next day, seeing that her work style was off, he followed and overheard her phone call. He agreed to help if she stayed here to work for 3 years, and any amount of money could be paid in advance. Or she could be his girlfriend, so he would have a legitimate identity to pay for her. But Xing-chun flatly refused, saying that she would solve her own problems. Jinnan accidentally overheard the conversation between Xing-chun and Yuan Fong and brought 200 million to her with a request that she not appear in front of Jingji. Xing-chun laughed, thinking that something like this, which only happened in movies, was now happening to her. She didn't accept, not because she liked Jingji, but because she didn't want to be involved with anyone. After that, Yuan Fong came again and gave her a card, saying that she didn't need to pay it back, because it was the bonus she hadn't taken over the years. Yuan Fong had saved it up and put it in her name. Xing-chun called her mother, saying that she would transfer the rest of the money back. But her parents happily reported that everything had been resolved and her father was fine. The scammer had returned and paid the money. Xing-chun was happy, but while working, she found a photo of her father's scammer friend on Jingji's desk. Seeing that he was still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, she realized that he was the one who had brought that guy back. Suddenly, he approached, wanting to know why she always rejected him. Just then, someone came outside, and she hurriedly hid in his arms, while explaining the reason. She was still in love with her first love. Jingji complained to Ziyu that she was really stupid. She didn't like diamonds, but stubbornly held onto a first love stone. Ziyu felt that he was like a fox who couldn't get the grapes, and said that the grapes were sour. As for her first love, perhaps because it was unfinished, she couldn't forget it. Jingji was about to leave, but suddenly turned back and said that he wanted to eat grapes. The next day, he suddenly called Tong Xin, handing over everything to her. When Xing-chun came to find him, she learned that he had left with Zhen Nan. At the same time, she also conveyed the message that she didn't need to come to his house this weekend because he had a date. After eating with Zhen Nan, the owner of the restaurant suddenly asked Jingji if he had ever been here before. At the same time, Zhennan saw the photo of him proposing to Xing Chun and hurriedly snatched it. That night, he found Yuan Fong, wanting to ask about her first love. Yuan Fong said that if he drank with him, he would tell him, but after getting drunk, he laughed and said that Jingji was stupid to believe what he said. The two of them called her to pick them up, and when she came, both of them were drunk and didn't know anything. In the end, she had to ask the waiter to help her get the two of them into the car, and at this time, Jingji suddenly hugged her tightly, saying that he would take Yuan Fong home first, and then the two of them would go home together later. The next day, Jingji suddenly called, telling her to come and save him, causing Xing Chun to rush over. At this time, he was lying on the floor, but when she got closer, she found that it was tomato sauce, and she knew that he was pretending. Today, she couldn't stay and take care of him because she had to go to a class reunion. Seeing him deliberately preventing her, she took the pebble plate next to her and poured it down, causing him to be uncomfortable and dive in to pick it up. At this time, she had arrived at the class reunion with her friends, and Jingji also came. She was about to pull him away, but her friends joined in, wanting him to stay. A friend came over and recognized Jingji and greeted him, causing her to worry and pull him straight outside. At this time, he wondered why that person said that he knew him. Xing Chun had to explain that it was because he and her first love looked very similar. Jingji was very angry because he thought that she regarded him as a substitute. This was also the first time that someone had treated him like this. At this time, he suddenly remembered what the restaurant owner said and ran to ask, but there were many customers here, and he couldn't remember them all. When he came to the photos, he found that one was missing, and Zhennan had been standing here at that time. He ran to find Zhennan, then showed the video of her taking the photo. After confirming everything, he went to find Xing Chun, wanting her to explain everything. The day the photo was taken was also the day he lost his memory, and her ring coincidentally looked exactly like his ring. Finally, she admitted that the two of them had been together, but it was all in the past, and she didn't want to mention it. But Jingji still wanted to know everything, including the time he had lost his memory, where she had gone, and why she hadn't come to see him. She explained that it was because the two had broken up, and that day, she had also rejected his proposal. Jingji left in disappointment, while she, at this time, looked at the mementos, remembered the past, and burst into tears. The next day, he didn't come to the company, so she rejected all appointments. At this time, Tong Xin and everyone came because there were many documents that needed to be signed, otherwise they would have to pay compensation. Reluctantly, she had to sign his name herself, and the signatures of the two were exactly the same, causing everyone to be shocked. She texted him, saying that she had signed his name on the contract, and everyone pulled together, wanting to hold a farewell party because she was about to quit. When she came to comfort everyone about all his daily habits, Ziyu called, reporting that he was at the hospital. Seeing Xing Chun, Ziyu said that he only examined the brain and wasn't responsible for sobering up drunks, then left. At this time, she remembered the past, when the two of them were close. The two of them had also planned for the future, to build a warm home together. Xing Chun secretly kissed him and ran out, running into Zhennan. And Zhennan was the ugly friend from college who witnessed the two of them in love. Later, when they met again, she suddenly found out that he had lost his memory, so she imitated everything from her to be by his side. However, what she didn't expect was that after so many years, he still only loved one person. But Xing Chun left not because of her, but because of the private matters between the two of them. The next day, Jingji woke up, and the person next to him was Zhennan. Tong Xin came to report that Xing Chun had resigned. After returning to the company, Jingji turned into a dark boss, and without Xing Chun here, everyone was chaotic and didn't know what to do. In another development, Yuan Fong came to congratulate Xing Chun on being unemployed. She recounted to him that Jingji knew everything about the past, but in any case, she didn't want to lie anymore. At this time, Xing Chun went into the kitchen to cook, and Yuan Fong didn't forget to film it for Jingji to get angry. As expected, he was very annoyed and told Tong Xin to call Yuan Fong immediately. But he had taken leave today, saying that he was taking leave to get married. Jingji called Yuan Fong, but he didn't answer until she stood up. He didn't forget to speak loudly through the phone so that the other person would know that he was with her. Since the day she left, everyone had to work at full capacity for only 3 days. Tong Xin remembered the secret that Xing Chun left behind. When he's unhappy, he likes to play Minesweeper. When Jingji walked in, he thought that she had returned, only to find out that before leaving, she had left instructions for everyone about his habits. Jingji immediately let the employees go home early. No need to work overtime anymore. Suddenly, Ziyu sent the photo of her kissing him in the hospital, while also revealing the fact that she not only came to visit him, but also took care of him all night. Jingji took the photo of the two of them and asked the owner of the restaurant about that day. Because he had a deep impression, the owner remembered that day, She hadn't had time to agree when he fainted. At this time, Jingji called, but she didn't answer. Looking out the door, he was standing there waiting, but she still refused to meet him. Outside, someone delivered food to her, even though she didn't order it, but the name of the recipient was clearly her. Jingji also took the opportunity to sneak inside, making her helpless. He wanted her to help him regain his memory, but Xing Chun still didn't care. He affirmed that she would have to change her mind very soon. The next day, the boss was suddenly unusually easygoing, surprising everyone. Seeing that she reported that she was busy and Yuan Fong also didn't go to work, he went to her door only to meet her mother. At this time, Yuan Fong also came out. Seeing that they were friends, her mother invited them both in for a meal. Yuan Fong was sweet-talking, winning over everyone, while Jingji didn't know what to do. Moreover, her parents at this time were constantly criticizing the director of their company, saying that his brain had a problem, that he exploited his daughter's labor, which made her resign. Jingji blamed her for not telling him that her parents had come, and for only telling Yuan Fong. Moreover, why did she have to secretly kiss him in the hospital when she could kiss him openly later? Yuan Fong, standing above, had seen all of this. Yuan Fong advised Xing Chun to give up that Jingji and fall into his enthusiastic arms. After a while of psychological manipulation, she was touched, but still only regarded him as a good friend. For the past 5 years, she hadn't been willing to open her heart, but Yuan Fong was still determined to pursue her to the end. Her parents kept pushing her and Yuan Fong together, but she only regarded him as a friend. The next day, Jingji went to Xing Chen's house, making everyone in her family very surprised. Because Yuan Fong gave an unreasonable reason for his leave, the boss still forced him to go to work. Jingji was quick-witted and greeted everyone, then took her whole family out to play. Xing Chen's mother sent thanks to Jingji's boss for picking them up so enthusiastically. All 4 of them went to the largest shopping mall in Jinghai. After buying many things, these 2 gods went to cupping therapy, and the 2 mothers and daughters went to get beautiful and then sat down to talk. After finishing cupping therapy, the 2 of them went to a common restaurant. Xing Chen's father recounted that when she was little, she had a strong passion for playing the piano. While they were talking happily, he asked if he could be his son-in-law, causing him to choke. He said that the decision was Xing Chen's, making him feel like he had a sure win in his hand. The 2 of them got drunk and went home, acting like fools. The next morning, Jingji woke up and remembered what happened yesterday, making him extremely embarrassed. Employees didn't see the boss go to work for 2 days, so they heatedly discussed his love affairs. Yuan Fong went to mock Zhen Nan because she was a missed rose in the boss's eyes. He advised her to let go of Jingji because there was someone he had a crush on in his heart. Zhen Nan still stubbornly pursued the president to the end. Jingji brought food to sober up his future father-in-law in order to win him over. Knowing that the 2 were going back to their hometown today, he booked business class tickets and didn't forget to buy gifts for Xing Chen's relatives. He also sent people to pick them up from the airport back to Hunan. Jingji went for a while, then he turned back to eavesdrop on her parent conversation. The father unintentionally said that his family was too rich for them to get along with, making him feel quite dejected. They were talking about her painful first love when Xing Chun came back from the market. Her parents were startled and went outside to see him standing here. They didn't know when he arrived. After seeing her parents off to the airport, Jingji demanded that she tell the whole truth. She recounted that 6 years ago, the 2 of them met in a coffee shop. The 2 of them quickly got to know each other, but she thought that he was just an ordinary employee like everyone else. Until one day, his father came to see her and asked her to leave Jingji because of the vast difference in the family backgrounds of the 2 sides. He said that he had missed many valuable business opportunities because of her. She resolutely refused to let go of Jingji, no matter what his father said. The 2 of them then went to eat together. Jingji went to the bathroom without bringing his phone. At this time, his father called, so she took his phone to answer the call. Inexplicably, she also sent the location of where the 2 of them were eating to him. Jingji came in and proposed to her, and then he suddenly fainted. Seeing the notification on Jingji's phone that his father had died in an accident, she was extremely confused. The doctor came out and informed her that Jingji had lost his memory and that he didn't remember her. Because she felt guilty towards the deceased, she put everything aside and went to a faraway place, giving him up while he was having amnesia. Jingji was angry and blamed her for being selfish and demanded that she return all the souvenirs of the 2 of them to him. For him, those were memories, but for her, those things no longer had any meaning. Xing Chun sadly and quietly sat sheltering from the rain, waiting for the car when Jingji came. The next day, everyone in the company was asking for President Yan's opinion, but he was constantly thinking about Xing Chen's affairs. The employees thought that President Yan was distracted because Secretary Nye had resigned. They didn't believe that the boss was missing her, so they rejected this idea. Xing Chen applied for a job at a Thai company, but the boss asked her tricky questions about her being attached to the old company for 5 years, but then applying to quit. Xing Chun answered skillfully, making the director very satisfied. He said in advance that if she worked here, she would have to move to Shanghai to work. This made Xing Chun quite confused, so she asked to go home and think about it more. As soon as she went outside, she met President Yin, but his attitude was very cold. Seeing him like that, she agreed to work in Shanghai. In the evening, Secretary Tong went to Dr. Han's house to show off her cooking skills to her crush. She went to the dining room, both looking at online recipes and taking pictures of her glamorous life to post on social media. Dr. Han tried the food and politely criticized it, but she lied, saying that she had learned it from the chef of the restaurant. He picked up a pack of napkins and saw a card for ordering fast food, making him laugh. She was eating when she felt uncomfortable. Dr. Han hurriedly ran out to check, and she took this opportunity to act coquettishly with him. Jing Ji returned home and saw the two of them being intimate, making him freeze. Yuan Fong was not happy because she had moved to Shanghai to live and work there on her own accord. She cried while eating when she mentioned Jing Ji, making Yuan Fong extremely sad. Jing Ji went to ask Dr. Han if he could recover his memory. As a doctor and a friend, he advised Jing Ji to stay away from Xing Chun immediately. The next day, his mother in Shanghai went to see her son. She confided in him about what happened 5 years ago. When his father was on his deathbed, he had something to tell her. He said that he didn't want to stop Jing Ji anymore and hoped that he would be happy with his choice. He was extremely surprised by those words of his before he passed away. Jing Ji went to his father's grave and remembered the past. He regretted having argued with his father before. Yuan Fong went to ask President Yin for leave because he had to see Xing Chun off to Shanghai. Jing Ji angrily went to find Xing Chun, blaming her for devaluing herself to go to a remote place to work. He asked her to pack up all the souvenirs of the two of them and bring them to his house. As soon as she entered the room, she heard voices inside, so she ran straight home. While she was happily anticipating, an Thai company called, saying that they couldn't hire her, making her angry. She called Jing Ji, blaming him for being cruel and ruining her livelihood. He brought up the matter of her saying that she wanted to make it up to him, so he asked her to take his mother for a walk in Shanghai. Xing Chun made an appointment with his mother to go for a walk in the shopping mall. She was always watching her every move from a distance to see what kind of person she was. She gave some challenges and then realized that she was a beautiful, kind, and skillful girl, which made her very happy. President Yin asked her to come to his house and gave her an important job. He said that she had to supervise the company's plan tomorrow because he wanted to create a surprise for the customers. She had to obey so that he would let her go. Jing Ji went to see Zhun Nan, asking her to end her 5-year pursuit of him. President Yin asked Yuan Fong to block the news after learning that Zhun Nan was about to sign a long-term contract with the Baiqi Group. Xing Chun wholeheartedly built the event according to what the president requested, and then she was surprised to see the lights turn on. Jing Ji came and asked her if this place was suitable for a confession. Xing Chun was surprised because this special confession was Jing Ji's for her. After all the misunderstandings were resolved, the two of them finally returned to each other. Xing Chun happily kissed him in the romantic snowy scene. The next day, when they woke up, the two of them called and talked sweetly with each other. She put on beautiful makeup and went to the company to announce to everyone that she had returned to work for President Yin. They were rejoicing when the president went and revealed that the reason she resigned last time was because of a conflict with her boyfriend. Before everyone's curiosity, he was about to announce when Xing Chun stopped him and dragged him back to the office. As soon as he sat in the chair, he hugged her tightly and coquettishly demanded kisses. Xing Chun advised him to maintain etiquette in the company because she didn't want people to gossip. Xing Chun brought the coffee she had prepared to the president's office and saw that the president was receiving guests. He raised the cup and drank, and saw that she had left a kiss on the cup, making him embarrassed in front of the customers. After the partner left, he hugged Xing Chun and kissed her deeply. While they were intimate, Chief Wang brought the progress report of the construction department. While she was talking, Jing Ji in the corner kept acting like a fool, hugging and kissing her hand. Yuan Fong wondered why she had come back here to work. She announced that she and Jing Ji had gotten back together, making him extremely happy. She hugged him and thanked him repeatedly when a company employee discovered it. She rushed to the office and bragged that Director Zhao and Xing Chun were in love, making everyone think it was true. President Yin went and saw everyone spreading rumors, so he asked Secretary Nye to explain the relationship between her and Director Zhao. She affirmed that she and Yuan Fong were just close colleagues. He called her into the room, and this team of employees still affirmed that Xing Chun and Director Zhao were secretly dating. Jing Ji drove furiously because he was jealous of her and Yuan Fong. He just called her when Jing Ji snatched the phone and mocked him. After buying things, Jing Ji went home to change into pajamas to provoke his rival. As it happened, Yuan Fong also came to eat a meal to celebrate the two of them getting back together. The two sat and ate, constantly teasing each other, leaving Xing Chun in the middle, not knowing what to do. Seeing the two of them being too intimate, Yuan Fong went back and slammed the door shut. The next day, Xing Chun came to Jingji's house and saw a pair of women's shoes. She saw him going into the kitchen and asked if they had a special guest coming. Just as she finished speaking, his mother came in and happily held her hand. Xing Chun was extremely surprised to learn that the aunt she had taken pictures of the other day was Jingji's mother. He asked her to hang out with his mother today to cultivate the relationship between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Zhenan was boxing in the room when Yuan Fong came to mock her. He kept mocking her for being childish and not thinking, making her angry and punching him repeatedly. After taking Jingji's mother to the airport, she returned to the office. Chief Wang invited her to go to his house tonight for a housewarming. Chief Wang said that he wanted to surprise his wife and children with this house that he bought himself. He also inspired her to marry early and be happy early, causing Jingji to keep kicking Xing Chen's leg. He naturally asked her about marriage, making everyone in the company very curious. This Chief Huang advised her to be careful with those handsome guys who seduce and then renege on their promises. Everyone joined in, making Jingji suddenly feel uncomfortable and angry. He immediately stood up and took Xing Chen away, saying that he had something to deal with. Jingji took her to a place to take couple photos, making her extremely surprised. As soon as the screen was removed, they met their team of employees who had also come to take pictures. President Yin was about to make their relationship public when Xing Chun interjected, saying that they were doing it for the project, making them think it was true. Jingji was becoming more and more addicted to his girlfriend and sent a series of messages to her, but she didn't pay attention. The next morning, when he woke up, he made breakfast and sprinkled the table with roses, creating a romantic atmosphere. The door opened, and he thought that Xing Chun had arrived, so he recited some flirty lines. Turning around, he saw this Chief Huang walking in, praising the boss for being good with words. He angrily grabbed his slippers and chased him out because he was annoying. When he got to the company and waited for a long time, Xing Chen finally arrived. She said that she was late because she had been studying the materials about the shopping center all night. As soon as she went out, she saw Tong Xin coming over, saying that she wanted to talk privately. After learning that the relationship between Dr. Han and her was very good, she suggested other places for the two of them to have fun. While they were meeting, the boss kept demanding that she go to see a movie with him tonight. Tong Xin was at the movie theater, calling Dr. Han repeatedly, but couldn't get through. She went back and forth to the place where Dr. Han worked to see what he was busy with. Hearing the staff push the two of them, him and Dr. Bai, as a couple, made her stunned. As it happened, she saw him helping Dr. Bai walk inside for surgery. Seeing Dr. Bai holding her daughter's hand without fear, she was surprised. Bai Xiaoqiao said that because the two of them had known each other for a long time, he didn't see her as a woman at all. Tong Xin awkwardly said some selfish words, making Dr. Han angry. Jingji and Xing Chun were watching a horror movie, and he was still cowardly as ever. While the two of them were playing, Director Su kept calling and disturbing, making him annoyed. While he was jealous of Director Su, Tong Xin called and asked her to go out for a drink to relieve her sorrows. She went home drunk and slept on the sofa. She drunkenly seduced him, but then fell asleep until morning. When she woke up, she saw him angrily calling her a scammer. On the way to the company, he suggested that she move in with him, but she distracted him. As they were about to get intimate, this Chief Huang came and disturbed, making him annoyed. He immediately transferred him to Shanghai for work to get him out of sight. Secretary Nya, after learning that the project to acquire the shopping center that she was working on was handed over to Director Zhao, was going shopping at the supermarket when Yuan Fong called. He snatched the phone and answered, making Yuan Fong very annoyed. As soon as he turned around, he saw Zhen then walking unsteadily, drunk. He teased and challenged her, and she forcibly kissed him. The two of them then cooked together. Jingji was very chivalrous and even let Xing Chen go outside to rest, leaving him to handle everything. He went from stir-frying to cooking, looking very professional. So the result was a table full of delicious dishes. Xing Chen tried it and found it very delicious and said that she wanted him to cook for her every day. This was also Jingji's long-standing wish, so he agreed, then suggested that Xing Chen come and live here with him and gave her the keys. Xing Chen felt Jingji's sincerity there and agreed. Then they shared a kiss from the chair to the bed. At the same time, after a night of passion with Ms. Zhen, when Zhao Yuan Feng woke up, she had taken his clothes, leaving him stunned. So he had to wear a bathrobe in the hotel and go downstairs to call a taxi, feeling embarrassed. At Jingji's house, after waking up, Xing Chen went to the market to buy things. At this time, Jingji had also woken up, but he had completely lost his memory again. Xing Chen returned home after going to the market, thinking to herself that today there would be many delicious dishes from Jingji, but when she called his name, she didn't see him anywhere. Remembering that the two had location sharing on, she went to the hospital after seeing Jingji go there. In the hospital elevator, the two of them happened to ride together. At this time, Xingchen didn't know that the person she loved had lost his memory and was about to kiss him. But Jingji acted embarrassed and didn't understand what Xingchen was doing to him. He said that whether the two of them knew each other or not, she couldn't be impolite to him, and then left. Seeing Jingji go to the company, she went there to avoid any incidents caused by amnesia. Because of amnesia, Jingji didn't even know where his office was and had to ask the receptionist to show him. When he got there, he met Chief Huang. He said that he had just returned from a business trip, so he was waiting for Jingji's next instructions. To learn more about the company, as well as what had happened in the past, Jingji wanted Chief Huang to bring all the financial reports for him to see. He also wanted to see the list of company employees and asked Huang Tao about what he had done recently. Chief Huang didn't know if Jingji was joking or not, so he told Jingji. After hearing that he wanted to buy the shopping center and also wanted to acquire the shares of Yuanda, he didn't understand why he did that. Chief Huang said that he didn't know either because the person who accompanied him that day was Secretary Xingchen. Immediately, Xingchen was called in to ask why she was with him, what things he did. Xingchen said that those projects were all done by him for her, then went to hug Jingji. But in the end, she was kicked straight out for the crime of sexually harassing President Yin for the second time. Chief Huang also didn't understand why, so he went out to ask Xingchen, but to cover up Jingji's amnesia, she could only say that it was because of work. But fate gave Xingchen another blow when Jingji came out and said that she was not qualified to be his secretary and was transferring her to the archives department. No matter what everyone said about how good Xingchen's abilities were, Jingji didn't care at this time. And no one had been transferred there in the past 4 years, so when she said goodbye, her colleagues told her that if she missed them there, she should come back here. When she got to the new room, Xingchen met Sister Chun and Manager Wu. The two of them were quite old, because going to this place to work was the same as early retirement. There wasn't much work to do. After work, she went to see Dr. Han, who was treating Jingji, to ask him about her boyfriend situation. Dr. Han replied that he didn't know what was happening to Jingji's memory. Dr. Han said that he had also taken pictures to see for Jingji, but he didn't find anything unusual. She couldn't give up so easily, so Xingchen went back to rest. The next day, she still went to work looking beautiful. As soon as she entered the elevator, she met Bei Na, who was a recent graduate, but whose achievements were extremely brilliant. After exploring information from the director's office team, she thought that Jingji wouldn't choose her. But life isn't always what you expect. Jingji came out and told Chief Huang to arrange a seat for Bei Na. This proved that she had been accepted. Not only that, this girl seemed to have researched and even knew Jingji's habits, which surprised Xingchen very much. A while later, Yuan Fong came to the company to meet Jingji, so he learned that Xingchen had been transferred to the archives department. Angered, he went into Jingji's room and asked why he let Xingchen be like that. But Jingji said that it was his personnel, so he would make his own decisions, and then left for a meeting. Yuan Fong called Xingchen out to talk, advising her to quit and not waste any more time. But Xingchen said that she didn't want to quit and would try to help Jingji recover his memory, and he would transfer her back to her old position himself. Yuan Fong listened and gave up, saying, "How long are you going to wait? Last time Jingji lost his memory, the two of you were separated for 5 years. So how long are you going to wait?" But Xingchen resolutely didn't change her mind, saying that she would still work here, making Yuan Fong give up. That evening, Jingji needed to see the documents in the archives department, so he went there to get them. It was already late, but Xingchen was still working and had arranged all the files neatly. While getting the documents for Jingji, she accidentally fell and hugged Jingji. But unfortunately, her button was torn off, making the two of them embarrassed. Jingji quickly handed Xingchen his coat so that she could cover herself, then took the documents and left. The next day, Xingchen went to Jingji's office to return the coat from yesterday, but was stopped by Secretary Bei Na. She said that she would send the coat back for Xingchen and that the boss was busy and wouldn't meet anyone. With no other choice, Xingchen gave it to Secretary Bei Na and asked her to send it for her. Returning to the office, Manager Wu from the real estate company called. She reported that they had completed the house procedures for Xingchen and wanted her to come over and see it. Xingchen was a little surprised, but at this time, Manager Wu said that Jingji had bought Xingchen's house last time and it was next to President Yan's house. Hearing this, she was happy and said that she would go there to see the house. Returning to her old house, Xingchen packed up all her belongings to prepare for her return to Jingji's house. After arriving at the new house, Xingchen moved her belongings out and cleaned up, but because the two houses were next to each other, the cleaning caused noise in Jingji's house. This made him uncomfortable and knocked on the wall to warn Xingchen. But Xingchen knew that Jingji was next door, so she deliberately teased him and cleaned up more noisily. After cleaning up, she planned to take a bath and enjoy herself. Xing Chun turned on the speaker connection, but connected to the speaker in Jingji's house. She saw that the speaker in her house kept turning on and off, and the other side was connected, but she didn't know it. Jingji saw that the speaker in his house kept turning on and off, and he was sleeping, so he went crazy and knocked on Xing Chun's door. Seeing Jingji come to her house, Xing Chun didn't understand why, so she had to put on a mask and pretend that she didn't know him to open the door. Jingji said that his neighbor was accidentally connecting to his speaker. At this time, Xing Chun realized that she had connected to Jingji's speaker by mistake and apologized to him, then said goodbye. The next day, coming to the company, Xing Chun was called by Jingji to discuss optimizing files, because she was so familiar with Jingji's working style. Even before he could speak, Xing Chun had already anticipated his intentions. This made Jingji quite satisfied, but in the end, he assigned it to her manager to handle, leaving Xing Chun deflated. However, what happened at the company stayed at the company. At home, Xing Chun still silently cooked breakfast for Jingji every day, leaving it in front of his door with a greeting. Though Jingji didn't know who it was, he happily took it and kept the greetings that Xing Chun left for him. But gradually, Jingji began to suspect his neighbor and went to thank her. Xing Chun, still using her usual method, covered her face with a mask to avoid being recognized and said that she only wanted to help her neighbor, so there was no need for thanks. Switching scenes, the next day at the company, Xing Chun inquired about Jingji only to be informed that he had left to attend a trade conference. Hearing this, Xing Chun called Yuan Fong to go there with her. Arriving at the location, she saw Secretary Bei Na accompanying Jingji, so Xing Chun quietly attended the conference, observing the situation from afar. Coincidentally, Jingji noticed Xing Chun, and just then, music began to play for them to dance the tango. He coldly asked her to dance with him, but Xing Chun didn't care and was about to leave when Jingji pulled her back to dance with him. While dancing, the two talked. Because Xing Chun knew that Jingji was dancing the tango to attract the attention of Director Liu, she said that she could help him, but there had to be a condition. That was for him to return her to the director's department. This condition was agreed to by Jingji. After the dance, it did attract Director Liu's attention. The two introduced themselves, and then Jingji talked about his desire to buy the Heishan land, but Director Liu felt that it was not appropriate to discuss it here, then made an appointment with the two of them for tomorrow at the auction. After the meeting, it was late, so Jingji said that he would take Xing Chun home. With no other choice, she could only say her old address for him to take her there. Before saying goodbye, Jingji said that he wanted to know why Xing Chun was so familiar with his dance. Xing Chun said that they had always been like this, and that the two of them had loved each other before. Everything only ended when he forgot everything. Jingji was also a little suspicious and said that he would investigate that matter again. Then the two said goodbye. The next day, to find out what was bothering him, Jingji went out and asked everyone about the scents women usually used. Because Xing Chun's hair and the hair of his neighbor smelled the same, he had doubts. At this time, Xing Chun came to work but was late, so Jingji warned her. Everyone was happy about Xing Chun's return to the director's office. The next day, Jingji's company was holding a meeting to discuss countermeasures to be able to buy the land of Heishan. Everyone agreed, so Jingji gave the task to Huang Tao, but he asked to express his opinion. Chief Huang said that the people who had been following this project the longest were Jingji and Xing Chun. Therefore, he wanted to propose that Xing Chun be the one to participate in this project. But Jingji asked everyone for their opinion, and everyone agreed with Chief Huang's opinion. Therefore, Jingji agreed to give this project to Xing Chun. Afterwards, he went to the company where Xing Chun lied that her name was Kuja and was working there to find her. But when he got there, because he didn't know the real name of that neighbor and didn't have any information, he couldn't find any information. This made Jingji a little suspicious about who that neighbor was. Unable to find anything, he returned to the company and went with Xing Chun to hold a meeting to discuss the plan to use the Heishan land. This was an important project for their company, and Xing Chun also put a lot of effort into this part. But the unexpected happened when their competitor in the meeting had a presentation similar to the idea of Jingji's company. They didn't understand how they had this information to play dirty with Jingji. Because of this, when it was Jingji's company's turn to present, he refused to talk about his project. Because of this, Director Liu didn't show any respect and signed with the other party. Immediately after leaving, Jingji wanted everyone to come to a meeting to investigate who leaked this secret. Hearing this, everyone immediately stood up to defend Xing Chun. They used their honor to guarantee that Xing Chun was not a commercial spy. Secretary Bei Na said that she was only doing her duty and hoped that everyone would cooperate. After that, Xing Chun was taken to a private room to give a statement. When the other two left, Xing Chun remembered her conversation with Director Liu. While she was mumbling to herself, Jingji came to her side. Jing Ji thought that Xing Chun had thought of every way to approach him because she was a commercial spy. He only believed in what he had seen and gave her 5 days to prove herself and save the cooperation agreement. If she couldn't complete it, then Xing Chun would have to resign. That evening, she went to find Director Liu, but she waited for him all day long, but he didn't want to talk to her. Switching scenes, Secretary Bei Na went to find Jing Ji to tell him that when restoring Xing Chen's email history, she found that she had sent the plan out. At the same time, Xing Chun received the news that Ji had chosen a partner to sign with and told her that she didn't need to come anymore because he didn't want to see her. The next day, Xing Chun went to find Gao Ji's house, but the people here didn't let her in. When she was drinking water, a woman came to take her water. But this aunt was a little mentally unstable. The security guard recognized this aunt and asked Xing Chun to help take care of his child while he went to call her family. After waiting, Xing Chun learned that she was Gao Ji's wife. Ji said that his wife had Alzheimer's disease for almost 5 years. The person who took her for a walk accidentally lost her, but luckily Xing Chun helped take care of her. After talking for a while, the two got to the main issue. Xing Chun told Gao Ji that Zi Hui's plan was that they had stolen the plan from her company. But right now, Xing Chun didn't have any evidence, so Ji couldn't believe her one-sided words. Jing Ji called Xing Chun, telling her that her email history had been restored, and they knew that she had sent information outside, wanting her to explain clearly. But Xing Chun hoped that he wouldn't bother her in 5 days. If he wanted to know what she was doing, he could come find her directly. Afraid that Xing Chun would be in danger that night, Jing Ji went to Gao Ji's old house to find her. Xing Chun wanted Jing Ji to take her back, but the bad road caused his car to get a flat tire, and the two could only spend the night in this place. Afterwards, Xing Chun took out the photo of the two of them together for Jing Ji to see, hoping that he could remember the moments that the two of them had been together. The next morning, Xing Chun told him that the location of this place was very convenient, very suitable for a tourist area. She wanted to turn this place into a tourist area marking love, because the scenery here could touch the hearts of everyone. Jing Ji agreed to this matter with her, but if in 5 days, Xing Chun still couldn't sway Ji, then she would still have to resign. In the following days, Xing Chun immediately sent people to repair this place. When Director Liu and Gao were discussing, Jing Ji went to find Gao to issue a new contract. Jing Ji said that the plan could be stolen, but sincerity couldn't. He wanted to invite Gao to a place to see their sincerity. Hearing that the place Jing Ji said was his old house, Gao immediately agreed to go with him. Returning to his old house, seeing that this place had been repaired and that his wife was also in this place, Gao was very happy. Knowing that the two of them wanted to turn this place into a place marking love, Gao agreed to sign the contract with Jing Ji. Returning to the company, everyone was happy when they learned about this. Jing Ji apologized to Xing Chun for having misunderstood her all this time. Xing Chun wanted to continue to be with him, but he hadn't thought about this issue yet. Switching scenes, Yuan Fong went to Xing Chen's house to eat barbecue. Xing Chun, afraid that Jing Ji would see, immediately pulled Yuan Fong inside. Jing Ji, knowing about this, sent someone to survey the movements of the two of them. Afterwards, that person returned and told Jing Ji that the two of them seemed to be in love, sitting and feeding each other barbecue. Hearing this, Jing Ji immediately went to Xing Chen's house. Xing Chun, seeing him, was frightened and told Yuan Fong to hide. Seeing Xing Chun being evasive, Jing Ji went inside himself to find Yuan Fong. Immediately, Jing Ji blamed Xing Chun, thinking that he was her laughingstock. Yuan Fong couldn't bear it and said that she did all of this because of Jing Ji. Yuan Fong wanted to fight Jing Ji, but was stopped by Xing Chun. Jing Ji angrily returned to his room, ignoring Xing Chen's calls for him on the outside. Yuan Fong was also chased home by Xing Chun because of this matter. Switching scenes, in the meeting, Jing Ji wanted to see the plan in the company's project. But some departments didn't want to let Xing Chen see it because they couldn't find any evidence, so they were afraid that she would give the information to the outside. Hearing this, Jing Ji chased Xing Chen out, causing her to only be able to obey. After the meeting, Xing Chun angrily went to blame Jing Ji, immediately writing a resignation letter. But Jing Ji couldn't let her leave yet because right now, she had a lot of the company's confidential information. Secretary Bei Na witnessed the conversation of the two people and came to attack Jing Ji, thinking that Xing Chun was a commercial spy. That night, when everyone left the company, Secretary Bei Na copied Jing Ji's documents to Xing Chen's computer to send information outside. But this action of hers was discovered by Xing Chun and Jing Ji. Xing Chun told Secretary Bei Na that the reason she knew this was because she had asked for a copy of the contract at Ji's place. Each contract she made was marked with page numbers on the back, so people who weren't in the company wouldn't know. Only someone new like her wouldn't see this. So she marked the page numbers below and sent them to Zi Hui Company without needing to fix anything. However, This action proved that Secretary Bai Na was a spy that Zi Hui had planted to steal all the documents from the company. All the things that happened today were a play that they intentionally showed her. In fact, the signature that Xing Chan signed for resignation was a shooting heart to express her love for Jing Ji. After this incident, Jing Ji promoted Xing Chan back to the position of his personal secretary. Jing Ji also added a lot of hearts in Xing Chen's signature to reciprocate her feelings. Ji asked her to send a message to Jing Ji, hoping that the two of them could continue to be together after 5 years. Like this time, she wanted to be able to protect him. Jing Ji, after seeing the messages, went to find Ziyu to hear about the past between him and Xing Chun. Switching scenes, Tong Xin went to find Ziyu when his father was also there. Afterwards, the three went to eat together, not forgetting to call his mother to come. Ziyu's mother just arrived and asked her what her name was, whose child she was, and urged the two of them to get married quickly. This made the two of them embarrassed. So, Zi said that the two of them were just in a dating relationship. Seeing Ziyu's parents constantly urging them made Tong Xin feel happy. In another development, Yuan Fong went to find Zhang Nan and discovered that the place where she worked had a hidden camera. On this side, Jing Ji reviewed the previous objects of the two people, but he still couldn't remember the memories between him and Xing Chun. Xing Chun kissed him, hoping that he could remember something, but he only tasted the moss peach. Suddenly, Jing Ji touched Xing Chen's lips again. The next morning, the two of them went to the company together and received a phone call announcing that there was a fire at the scenic construction project. Arriving there, Jing Ji suddenly felt dizzy and some images appeared in his head. In order to save him, Xing Chan was hit in the head by bricks falling from above and fainted. At the hospital, Jing Ji whispered to Xing Chan that he didn't want to leave her and then remembered some memories. But when Xing Chen woke up, she didn't remember who Jing Ji was. Ziyu said that Xing Chen currently had a mild concussion and couldn't temporarily remember her memory. Ziyu also told Jing Ji the reason he lost his memory was because of emotional trauma that led to this. Love for Jing Ji was a physiological stimulation for Xing Chun. If Jing Ji became immersed in some emotional story, it would cause him to lose his memory and forget that emotional story. This could cause Jing Ji not to remember the person he loved. Hearing that, Jing Ji sadly kissed Xing Chun on the forehead and left. When Xing Chun woke up, she remembered her memories and asked Ziyu about Jing Ji. Ziyu told Xing Chun that after Jing Ji brought her to the hospital, he had also left. Tong Xin came to visit Xing Chun, and Xing Chun immediately asked if Jing Ji had asked anything about her. But knowing that he hadn't asked anything about her, she immediately thought he was trying to avoid her. Tong Xin went to find Ziyu and saw that he wanted to go to an exhibition with Xiao Qiao. So she immediately used Ziyu's mother to threaten him, making him refuse Xiao Qiao's invitation. Jing Ji was at the company when he suddenly received a phone call saying that Xing Chun was nowhere to be found. This made him worried, and he went to the hospital to find Xing Chun while she was smugly sitting on the side eating snacks. Seeing that he had recovered his memory, Xing Chun happily hugged him. Jing Ji told Xing Chun about the illness he had. He didn't want her to be hurt time and time again, so he wanted her to quickly forget him, and then, ignoring her, he just left. After that, Tong Xin came to visit Xing Chun and said that she really liked Ziyu. Xing Chun told her to go confess directly to find out what his feelings for her were. If Ziyu liked another girl, she advised her to give up and find her own happiness. Jing Ji returned home and sadly remembered the happy moments he had spent with Xing Chun before. Xing Chun also couldn't sleep and went for a walk, running into a terminally ill patient sitting and crying. She told Xing Chun that she and her boyfriend wanted to go to Germany to fulfill their dream of getting a master's degree. But when she learned that she had an incurable disease, she tried to leave him. She did this just because she didn't want him to suffer or be an obstacle to him. But for Xing Chun, it was different. No matter what happened, she just wanted to be with the person she loved. The next day, Xing Chun was discharged from the hospital and could go to work, making everyone very happy. But when she went to find Jing Ji, she didn't see him. Just then, Xing Chen's mother called, wanting her to go on a blind date with her middle school classmate's son. In another development, Yuan Fong went to eat with Jing Ji and called Xing Chun. She boasted to Yuan Fong that she was about to go on a blind date with her mother's friend's son. Yuan Fong also helped her tease Jing Ji, making him unhappy and leaving. Tong Xin and the brother she just met went to eat together, wanting him to see if there was anything different about her, but this fool didn't know anything. He also said that Tong Xion's lipstick contained many impurities that caused women's diseases. She was still sad when he praised it for being very beautiful, and then peeled shrimp for Tong Xion to eat, making her very happy. Afterwards, she brought him a birthday cake that she made herself, not even knowing what day it was. Xiao Qi called him, reporting that she had been hit by a car. So, without even eating the cake, the two had to go pick her up. Seeing him care about Xiao Qi like that Tong Xin felt a little sad and didn't want to go home with him anymore, but stayed and looked at her birthday cake. The next day, Xing Chun went on a blind date. Coincidentally, Jing Ji also went here. Seeing her on a blind date with another son, his heart was filled with jealousy, so he went to be a stumbling block, preventing these two from progressing. That brother knew that there was a third party, so he angrily left. Seeing this, Jing Ji knew that he had won in this game. On the way home in the car, Xing Chun still blamed Jing Ji for ruining her date. She also said that he had a business trip in Beijing, so why didn't he go? Jing Ji was also because of her that he stayed here, so he could prevent actions like just now. Seeing this, Xing Chun was very happy. The two went to the place where their love began. Xing Chun didn't hesitate to express her feelings to him again, hoping that she and Jing Ji could reunite. He was still hesitant because he didn't want her to have to experience the feeling of pain like the first time they did that thing again. Xing Chun still made her choice and wanted to start over with him. Seeing this, Jing Ji agreed and hugged her in his arms. On this side, Zhenan and Brother Zhao went to eat street skewers, and, especially today, she had reserved this whole restaurant so he could just eat comfortably. Seeing that, Brother Zhao was very excited to be chosen to enjoy himself. During the days before he started his career, he didn't get to eat street skewers, only a little food. It was really hard. After choosing, the two of them also went to the table, and the two of them had bottomless stomachs, so they ate a lot of street skewers. Jing Ji and Xing Chun were newly in love again, so they were still very shy. Even when he was near her, Jing Ji wanted to hug her waist lightly, but he didn't dare. After eating and drinking their fill, Brother Zhao and Zhenan went outside and met fans here. Seeing this, Brother Zhao quickly diverted their attention, then pulled Zhenan and ran away. That night, Jing Ji dreamed again of the image of his mother questioning herself in the bathroom, causing him to fall into confusion once again. The next day, his mother also came to the company to visit her son. She also sat down and talked with Xing Chun, then told her some things. Xing Chun asked her about Jing Ji's amnesia, which she said was from when he was little. The two of them argued and fell into a store, reaching a dead end. She chose to end it all. Just then, Jing Ji saw it, so now he's often haunted by it. Jing Ji on this side also went to see a psychological counselor who told him about the diseases he was suffering from. After hearing this, he was a little wary, but if he worked hard to treat them, he would recover quickly. Returning to the company, Jing Ji and his mother had a private conversation. Here, his mother expressed her feelings, because for a long time, she thought that Jing Ji didn't remember her and didn't care about her at all, because she thought that after divorcing his father, she had left Jing Ji with a rather large mental pain. Jing Ji, after listening, didn't react, letting his mother know that he was very happy now. As for remembering his mother, he always remembered. How could he forget the sweetness of motherly love like a stream of sugar-free, fresh milk? After so many years of separation, the two mothers and sons had the opportunity to reconcile and exchange a warm hug. In the following days, Jing Ji continued to work hard in psychological treatment, while Xing Chun was busy at the company nonstop. Even if they were tired, the two still had each other by their side, sharing joys and sorrows. It was also because of working for many consecutive days that Xing Chun was tired, so Jing Ji took her to the doctor. Dr. Han diagnosed that she was fine and only asked her not to drive next time when Xing Chun wasn't feeling well. Knowing that she was fine, he was relieved and went outside, but saw that Xing Chun's hand was sore from the collision. Jing Ji took her home to take care of her like a child. Xing Chun was so tired that she fell asleep without knowing it. Seeing this, Jing Ji took her to the bedroom and called the psychologist. He wanted to know the situation of his memory recovery and wanted to know if he could lose his memory a third time. The doctor couldn't guarantee this to him, but treating it completely would be extremely difficult, maybe even completely losing his memory. After listening, Jing Ji was stunned for a moment and went into the room to look at Xing Chun, then went to work. Xing Chun then went to the company and was gossiped about by her colleagues about the case of Jing Ji going to eat with Zhenan and being photographed. Seeing this, she went to find him to ask about this matter, but Jing Ji now seemed to have changed his personality, saying very hurtful things to Xing Chun. At that moment, Zhenan also came here. Jing Ji took the opportunity to be intimate with her, making Xing Chun extremely jealous. Sitting back, she knew that Jing Ji had an appointment with Zhenan to go out to eat, just so she could give up on this love that didn't bring her happiness. Zhenan was different. She didn't want Jing Ji to do this because he would regret it. Jing Ji was still determined to bet this game with Xing Chun, so he asked Zhenan to do what he wanted, which is why the two were so close. It didn't make Xing Chun happy at all. Zhenan went home, and he pulled her in, not wanting her to interfere in the love affairs of the other two, but she didn't listen. Jing Ji turned back and caught Xing Chun already standing here waiting for him. The two returned home together. At this time, Jing Ji said his feelings. He didn't want this kind of love that was sometimes there and sometimes not. And he also didn't want to love her and lose his memory once again. Jingji was also cruel when he tore up the diary that the two cherished the most. Xing-chun was extremely heartbroken by Jingji's actions. Before he could say the words of separation, she left. Jingji all that night regretted sitting down and piecing together the diary. There was really no stupidity greater than this stupidity. A few days later, while Xing-chun was taking Jingji home to sleep, she accidentally discovered the diary that he had written. And it was everything that he wanted to say to her but couldn't. Hearing the part where he wanted to leave her, Xing-chun was stunned and looked at him. When Jingji woke up and came to the company, he received a letter left by Xing-chun. Looking over at her desk, it was empty, so Jingji quickly ran home to find Xing-chun. But right now, she had left him according to his wishes, so he couldn't find her, even by looking with his eyes. Sitting and reading the letter that Xing-chun left behind, Jingji wanted to cry, but no tears fell. He accepted it like that, not wanting to go find her again, and start a new life. Sitting in a coffee shop, Jingji now dimly remembered some memories of him and Xing-chun, so he didn't want to live alone anymore and ran to find her everywhere. When he couldn't find her anywhere else, Jingji asked Ziyu to help him. Although he knew, he wouldn't tell Jingji because he had made Xing-chun suffer too much. If he wanted him to say it, Jingji had to drink a barrel of wine, so he didn't hesitate to drink it all. Seeing this, Ziyu couldn't bear it and stopped him, then told Jingji that Xing-chun had returned to her hometown. That's why, the next day, Jingji went to Xing-chun's old place to see where she was. Meeting her neighbor, he was told that they had returned to their hometown to grow vegetables and raise cattle. Jingji quickly went back there, but unfortunately, his car broke down while he was driving. So Jingji had to hitch a ride on a pig truck. Sitting on the truck with a super cool appearance, he went to his girlfriend's house. But he didn't know that the goat in the back had eaten all the fruit that he was bringing as a gift to his father-in-law. Arriving at Xing-chun's house, everyone was surprised when Jingji appeared here. And they also saw that he still had the goat that had eaten the fruit in his hand. Because he didn't bring any clothes, Jingji had to wear Xing-chun's father's clothes temporarily, looking a bit funny, but it was okay as long as he wasn't naked. Going outside, he was treated to a little vegetables and noodles in the countryside, but the father-in-law, when he saw him, wasn't happy at all, showing that he was extremely picky, making Jingji very wary. He took the opportunity when Xing-chun was washing dishes to approach her to ask some things. But this father-in-law still didn't let him go and made him wash the dishes. For someone who had never lifted a finger to do this since he was a child, it was extremely difficult for Jingji. Seeing him like that, Xing-chun was a little worried and wanted to come out and help, but her father stopped her. Only when the plate fell and shattered did Jingji escape this disaster. Not only that, he was also scolded loudly by his father-in-law. That night, because the house was cramped, Jingji had to sleep with Xing-chun's brother. Luckily, this person snored like a roaring cow, so he couldn't sleep and planned to punch him, but his conscience wouldn't let him do that. He played big, sneaking into Xing-chun's room. Seeing him, she was startled because she was afraid that her father would find out. He didn't say anything, but hugged her tightly, saying that he had remembered the things from 5 years ago. This time, he came to find her like this because he wanted to take Xing-chun back to protect her, not to let her be hurt again. While they were talking, the father-in-law came in. Jingji quickly used the stealth technique, hiding behind the curtains, listening to the story of those two fathers and children. After the father-in-law went out, Jingji also revealed himself. He didn't go in circles, but said that he loved Xing-chun, then kissed her lightly and hurried away. Unfortunately, he left his phone in Xing-chun's room, and at this time, Brother Zhao called, so she picked up, making him terrified instead. Brother Zhao then suddenly received a notification about the news of Zhen Nan, saying that she was the queen of beauty pageants. She also posted old photos of Zhen Nan to compare with her current beauty. At the company, Zhen Nan was having a terrible headache over this matter and was informed by her assistant that they had found the person who posted these photos. It was none other than Wei Wei, Zhen Nan's high school classmate. The next day, just waking up and not even having exercised, Jingji was challenged by his father-in-law with his IQ of 151. Seeing that Jingji was so smart, his father-in-law challenged him to catch a chicken. Seeing this, Jingji had to stubbornly jump in to catch it. Seeing him so clumsy, his father-in-law thought that he was just bluffing with such an IQ and couldn't even catch a chicken. After a long time, Jingji finally caught one. At this point, the father-in-law had nothing left to say, so he left, waiting to create a new challenge for him. On Zhen Nan's side, as soon as she went outside, she was hit in the face with a whole sky of rotten eggs. Luckily, Brother Zhao came along at that moment and took the bullet for her. Xing-chun and Jingji, after going into the house later, found that Xing-chun's grandmother had fallen down the stairs. Everyone in the family was worried. At this point, Jing Ji took the opportunity to show off his first aid skills. After examining her, he saw that she was still okay, then took her to the hospital for further examination. Luckily, thanks to Jing Ji, she was like this. Seeing this, the father-in-law also looked at him with different eyes, seeming to have agreed to accept him as a son-in-law. Mr. Nya met a friend in the hallway. He said that Mr. Nya had become rich and didn't need to worry about the hospital bills anymore because his daughter had gotten with a super rich oil tycoon. So he called Jing Ji out to talk like two men. He wanted him to confirm his love affair with Xing Chun because the distance between the two families was too great. He would also return the money in full, not needing to owe this favor, but Jing Ji didn't mean that. The first love of his daughter 5 years ago was him, but the illness made him lose his memory, forgetting everything about Xing Chun. So now that the two had returned to each other, he didn't want anything to separate them anymore. Mr. Nya, after listening, also happily approved and supported the two young people to come together. The next day, while taking care of his grandmother, Xing Chun mentioned that Jing Ji had helped her family pay that $1 million, making her very grateful. Also, her parents approved of her love affair, making him extremely happy. Afterwards, Xing Chun went to see Jing Ji's doctor to ask about his illness and see if he had completely recovered. The doctor said that surgery could cure it, but for Xing Chun, it would take time to slowly heal for it to be effective. Xing Chun needed to clearly define her thinking because the success rate was very low. But she was ready to face that matter because the higher the risk, the greater the success rate, and she would bet a big game. Jing Ji came to Xing Chen's house, but she had gone with her colleagues for a drink to catch up after many days of absence. So he returned to the company and worked alone. Meanwhile, Xing Chun and her office buddies went out for a wild night. The colleagues wondered where she had been during the past time that they couldn't contact her. They also suspected that boss Jing Ji was having an ambiguous affair with little Zhan Nan because they hadn't seen his face these days either. While they were gossiping about the boss showed up, scaring the whole group. He asked manager Huang Tao about recruiting a new secretary, but there still weren't any good options. By the way, Xing Chen had just returned to Jinghai and didn't have a job, so Huang Tao offered her to apply for the position of director secretary. Before the influence of his office buddies and wanting to return to support President Yin, Xing Chen agreed to return to the company as the director's secretary. So everything worked out and the whole group was happy. When they went out, a group of reporters filmed the two of them to ask about the love affair of Yuan Fong and Jin Nan. A very irrelevant question because they suspected Xing Chun was the third party who interfered in that relationship. Standing in front of the public opinion that was focusing on Xing Chun, our President Yin didn't hesitate to affirm that Xing Chun was his girlfriend. Their relationship had started 6 years ago and there was no third party involved. After that, he took Xing Chun out of the crowd before the admiration of his colleagues. On the way back, Jing Ji was worried about Xing Chun because this misunderstanding would affect her life. But this time, Xing Chen didn't care much because the two had confirmed this relationship and would make it public for everyone to know. The next morning, Xing Chun returned to the company to work and was warmly welcomed by her colleagues. Everyone wanted to give her gifts to become closer to her, but she only wanted everyone to be like they were before. She was very happy and didn't need to be polite. In the middle of that day, the two made an appointment with the couple Zhan Nan and Yuan Fong to go eat to talk about the real rumor because they didn't want to affect the feelings of both sides. However, Zhan Nan and Yuan Fong had now come together and made their love affair public, so they didn't care about those tabloid newspapers making things difficult for them. To make the colleagues believe more and divert public opinion, the two couples decided to cooperate to show off the love affairs of both sides. When the two men left, the two girls confided in each other about their boyfriends to understand more deeply. In another development, Dr. Bai confessed her feelings to Ziyu, but he rejected her. Ziyu realized that he had feelings for Little Tong Xin and only regarded Dr. Bai as a friend, even though the two had known each other and worked together for more than 10 years. But the person who gave Ziyu a special and fresh feeling and understood what love was only Tong Xin. So that night, Ziyu designed a confession to Tong Xin at their familiar restaurant. With sincere words from the bottom of his heart, she helped him change his personality and understand more about self-worth. Ziyu confessed to Tong Xin, and the couple became destined from here. Not at all inferior. On this side, Jing Ji was sitting and researching where to confess to Xing Chun appropriately. He asked 2 hotel employees to help him with advice, but just then, Xing Chun returned, so he tactfully sent those 2 employees away to avoid revealing a secret. The next day, Jing Ji continued to ask 3 subordinates for advice, but no one could advise him on how to confess to Xing Chun. Returning home that night, Jing Ji saw on Xing Chen's computer a history about a place called Dreamy Town, which sparked a bold idea that he would carry out the proposal in that place. The next day, he and 2 setup staff went to Dreamy Town to design the proposal to Xing Chun to be the most meaningful. He shared his plan to go to Dreamy Town with Xing Chun, making her very interested and wondering why he knew that location and took her there. A secret that he couldn't reveal and could only disclose when the time was right. The two traveled by bus to the town, but that bus line had stopped operating for some time, so they had to walk to make it more romantic. Arriving at a location that wasn't as expected, Xing Chun really liked it because it sparked an idea for the resort hotel that the company would build later. Unable to wait any longer, Jingji immediately took out a ring to propose to Xing Chun in front of this romantic scene. Without hesitation, Xing Chun agreed and put on Jingji's engagement ring. The two returned home and devoured each other, preparing for a hot night. But Jingji remembered that he had an important online meeting. Cutting short the sublimation made Xing Chun so annoyed that she didn't want to say anything. The next day, at the office, the colleagues were happy when they saw Xing Chen's engagement ring. Receiving the announcement that Chief Huang and Jingji were preparing to go to Beijing on a long-term business trip made Xing Chen a little uneasy. So that night, returning home, she took the initiative to dress sexily to attract Jingji's attention. Thinking that this gig would be easy, who knew that he would roll her up in a blanket and run away. The next morning, Xing Chun and Mrs. Yi, Jingji's mother, went shopping to increase their relationship. Mrs. Yi wanted the two families to officially meet to soon get married for the young couple. That night, returning home, Xing Chun once again seduced Jingji. But this guy's spirit was quite firm and not easily subdued by beauty. Before Xing Chen's begging, what was supposed to come finally came, and the two had a happy night of love. The next morning, waking up, Xing Chen worried that once again, after doing that, he would forget who she was. As expected, he really forgot, making her extremely worried. Actually, he was just pretending to tease her. How could he let the past repeat itself? Afterwards, the two started a new day as a couple in love, doing many things together. That day, the two families also officially met to discuss the marriage for the young couple. After a few awkward opening stories, the two families finally agreed that the wedding would be held right away and always in the following month to make it hot. Jingji promised to take care of Xing Chun for the rest of his life in place of Mr. and Mrs. Nia, and everyone raised their glasses to congratulate that. In the time after that, while Xing Chun was busy as can be solving work at the company for Jingji, he went to prepare for the wedding of the two people. The two went to take wedding photos together, but it was just to take advantage of the time to get back in time for the meeting at the company. Because President Yin was a rather picky person and it was almost the day of the wedding, he still hadn't decided on a place to hold it. The design staff had to ask Xing Chun to help persuade President Yin to choose the optimal plan on their side to have time to prepare. On the way back, Xing Chun persuaded her soon-to-be husband about the wedding plan that the design side had prepared. But President Yin still stubbornly stuck to his point of view, saying that everything had to be according to his wishes, leaving Xing Chun speechless. That night, Xing Chun knew that Jingji was worried about preparing for the busy wedding. So she asked him to dance a dance to relax, and then together choose the most beautiful wedding photos of the two people to make an album. The next day, the whole group went to choose a wedding dress to prepare for the marriage of Xing Chun and Jingji, and the wedding day of the couple arrived. The bridesmaids and groomsmen were the remaining couples, arranged to face each other like fate. President Yin anxiously prepared to step onto the aisle. He handed over all the work to Chief Huang because after this wedding, he had to go on a honeymoon and have babies, so he was very busy. The wedding ceremony was held before the witness of all the relatives of the two families and friends from near and far. The bride Xing Chen stepped onto the aisle, joining the groom Jing Ji in marriage. After the procedures of making vows and exchanging wedding rings were completed, the bride and groom kissed each other in front of the entire wedding party. Before leaving the wedding venue, there was the bride's flower toss, and Tong Xian was the one who received the bouquet. Surely, Tong Xian would be the future bride, and the groom was none other than Ziyu. Jing Ji laughed tiredly, and both collapsed on the bed with hungry stomachs. Jing Ji didn't hesitate with the responsibility of a husband and went to cook his wife a hearty dinner. Seeing her fall asleep, he carefully helped her remove her makeup and carried her to take a bath. The next day, arriving at the office, Xing Chun brought a lot of gifts to give to her colleagues as a thank you for helping her and her husband complete the wedding ceremony. Incidentally, Chief Huang asked Xing Chun to say good things to President Yin because the draft project that was being carried out had some problems. Chief Huang was criticized by President Yin for a while and agreed to increase the deadline, but only for 3 days at most. Chief Huang complained to his subordinates about this, but seeing Xing Chen's eyes, he quickly perked up the spirits of the team and decided to complete the goal in the next 3 days. In the days that followed, the two were happy with married life and passed out dog food at the office. In another development, Yuan Fong was stuck in his love affair with Zhen Nan, so he asked Xing Chun for advice. He had confessed his feelings a few times, but all failed. That's what made it so bitter, especially the extremely romantic proposal in their familiar restaurant. Everything was smooth like the script had said before, but Zhen Nan made one statement. He was acting like he was in a movie, and she didn't accept that proposal. It was really sad for him. In the end, Xing-Chan gave the advice, just let time prove everything. Returning home that night, while talking with Jing-Ji, Xing-Chan felt a little uncomfortable in her stomach. So happy news came to the two people that Xing-Chan was pregnant. Jing-Ji was happy and immediately started finding out the things that needed to be prepared before giving birth to a baby. The next day, the doctor gave her results that she had been pregnant for 6 weeks. Everything was stable, and she just needed to pay attention to rest and recuperate. Arriving at the company to work, the office buddies took great care of this pregnant woman, not letting her touch anything heavy. Switching scenes. A year later, the company of the two spouses Jing-Ji and Xing-Chen was growing and had certain successes. While Xing-Chen was solving project issues, Jing-Ji was responsible for taking care of the baby. Their family had a new member, while the couple Zhennan and Yuan Fong still hadn't gone anywhere. The family of Ziyu and Tong Xian was also preparing to welcome a new member. In that party, Yuan Fong took the opportunity to borrow the baby of Jing-Ji's house to propose to Zhennan. And this time, she agreed to that proposal, making everyone happy. So the couples went home, living happily together forever after, and the movie ended here. If you thought it was good, don't hesitate to leave me a like and subscribe to give me more motivation to make a lot of new videos. Now, goodbye and see you in the next videos.